Hi, good evening, dear Odoo users, and thank you for being here with me tonight. My name is Valentina, and I am the main e-commerce and website expert inside the Odoo support team. Before anything, I would like to remind you to scan the QR code so you can write down your questions, and we will take a few minutes at the end of the presentation to answer to some of them. If you don't have time to scan it, don't worry, we will show it again by the end of the presentation. So being a support agent for more than 2 years inside the Odoo support team, I can definitely testify that price lists are a powerful tool inside Odoo, especially when it comes to show your prices on your e-commerce. However, as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And in my opinion, it is important to have all the basics in order to be able to manage such a tool. This is why today, after we quickly define what is a price list in Odoo, I would like to give you all the tips and tricks that I use in my daily support tasks in order to guide the users in their price management. To do so, I will tell you the story of a little shop that started small and grew big. Afterwards, I will give you all the takeaways that I would like you to bring back home today, and we will finish with the quick Q&A session. So what is a price list in Odoo? In my definition, it is a configurable set of pricing rules that define for each product what price will be shown for each customer and based on specific conditions. So how does it look like in Odoo? Well, first we can access them from the website's application in the e-commerce menu, price list. When you create your database, you will see that with your company will be created a default price list, which will be set on your main company currency. To begin with, it will be an empty list, meaning that for now, the price that will show for your products is the price that you define in the sales price field on your product form. So how do we turn this little empty list into a powerful price management tool? So as I said, I will tell you the story of the Happy Pieces shop to give you all my tips and tricks. So the Happy Pieces shop has been created by a puzzle enthusiast that just wanted to sell puzzles to people. To do so, he has created a website in Odoo, and we will see together that that was a great idea. So I will show you the website that he created. That looks like this, and of course we see puzzles. So for the puzzles, the price is quite simple. We just have one product, one price. However, our puzzle enthusiast is also selling other types of products, such as the puzzle board accessory that I will show you, okay, which is the puzzle board, and this one comes in different variants because we have different size of products. He's also selling a product that is called the little pins, and for this one, he would like to be selling packs with a price decreasing based on volume. So for the puzzle products, to take all those prices, he has decided that he will use a price list so that we centralize everything at the same place. So he has already created a price list in which he has defined the price of all the simple products, where we have one product, one fixed price. For the puzzle board, which comes in 3 different variants, we could either add a price rule directly here in the price list, but in Odoo 19 we also now have tab that is called the prices, in which we can define the price and assign it to a price list as well. So I will go into my products and search for the board product. As I was saying, it comes in 3 different sizes, and we have the price tab here. So it is just like in the prices, but here I can choose in which price list I will add this price rule. So here, for example, I will make sure that I used my main price list that I have shown you before, and I will define for each variant the price that goes with this variant. We can really easily just repeat all of that for all the variants. And see how it looks on the website. So currently it's great because I can see that I have a different price based on the variants. But the little specificity here is that if I come back on the shop page, we can see that I have the price that is defined on my product form. Why is it? Well, because here on the price list, the only prices that I have defined are specific to the variants. So we need to make sure that we come back on this product, and in that price is that we add another line in which we will define the price of the product templates. For that, I will just, in my case, not define any variants and use the lowest price that I have for my variants, which is the $80. So now if we go back on the website and come back to the shop page, we have the right price. Now for the pins. So this is also quite new in Odoo, and it is the fact that now you can define that you will be selling packs on your e-commerce. This is something that you can define in the units of measure, meaning that you can create, for example, a pack of 20, which means you sell 20 units of your product. As I want to have a decreasing price based on those packagings, which means that if you buy 20, you pay less than if you buy only 1 unit, I will also use my price list. Here, I will use the minimum quantity field. But first, for the 1 unit, I will just define my price, which is 55 cents, and that's it. Now for the pack of 20, I will say that as of 20 quantities, now my price is 50 cents per product, and also for the 50 quantities, that now my price is 45 cents. So let's go have a look how it is on the website, and we can see that now if I use a pack of 20, I will let you do the calculation, but we can see that it's not 55 cents per unit, but 50 cents. One little trick here is that you need to make sure for your price list, if you want the prices of your prices to show on the website, make sure to use the field websites. You can leave it empty, but if you do so, it will not apply to any of your websites, meaning that only in the sales application you will be able to use those prices. If you want to have the same prices on more than one website, you would need to duplicate the price list and assign the other website in the duplicated price list. All right, so everything is going great, and now he wants to expand to international countries. So here he wants to sell to Europe and the United Kingdom, meaning basically in simple words that we now need to manage multi-currencies. To do so, we can also use price lists. How can we do so? Well, first you will need to make sure that you activate the currencies that you will be using in Odoo, that you update the exchange rates. And what we can do is just create a price list with the new currency and base it on the first prices that we defined. So here, for example, for the European Union, I will use the right currency, apply the country group European Union, and to base the price on the prices that we define in the other price list, I will just add a discount of 0% on the main price list. I will just quickly repeat the same for the Great Britain. And in this case, as I didn't have a country group that only applies to the United Kingdom, I have gone ahead, I created a new country group in which I only added the country United Kingdom. So now I can use it here as well. So this one only applies to the people from the United Kingdom. Oops. So let's see how it looks like for a customer that comes from Belgium. Here he is. I will just connect as if I was him. And this one, he has already completed his address on my website, and we know that he comes from Belgium. So now if I go on the shop, as his address is in Belgium, he gets applied the country group condition which has the priority, and we can see that the exchange rate has been applied because here he sees the price in euros, and yeah, the exchange rate is applied. The same, of course, applies for the people that come from the United Kingdom. So in this case, I am connected and I have defined my address on the address form. However, if a public visitor comes on the website and doesn't have an account, then based on his IP address, he will also be applied the right price list if his country matches one of your price list country group. All right. So now, to boost the customer loyalty, they have decided that they also want to launch a premium membership program, meaning that people who will be buying a subscription on their website will have discounts on the puzzle products and will get free delivery. They will also be managing that in the price list in Odoo. So to do so, we will first start by defining the price list, which we call the Happy Members price list, and in which I will simply define that for my delivery product, because in this case I just use a standard delivery with a fixed price, it is set to 0, and that for the category of puzzles, so not all the other goods, only the puzzles, I give those people a discount of 20%, based again on the main prices that I have. So now for the people that buy the subscription to get those perks, I need to make sure that I assign these prices to those customers. To do so, I just have to go on the contact form. Here we have the happy member that has just bought a subscription, and I need to make sure that in the sales and purchase tab, I assign them the right price list, which is the happy members price list. Once this is done, these prices will apply to them, and if they go on the website, they will see the discounts that we have. So let's have a look at this. Again, I will connect. And if I go on the shop, we can see that this customer sees the discounted price of 20% for the puzzles. Now the little, I would say, trick here is that the thing is that we, on these prices, we have defined prices, preferential prices only for the puzzle products. What happens is that all the products that I haven't defined in my price list, they will get the price that is defined on the product form. As we want them to still see the prices that we have defined in the first price list, I will need to make sure that I add a third line on this price list, for which I say that for all the products, I add a 0% discount on the main price list. As Odoo is smart, he will first take the most specific rules for prices for my product. So he will first apply the free delivery, the 20% discount on the puzzle category, and then for all the remaining products, he will go and take the price that is defined on the other price list. So now if I just refresh the page here, we can see that we now get the prices that have been defined in the other price list. Okay, moving on. So let's say that now puzzles are a real thing and the puzzle shop needs to grow a bit bigger, and to do so they will go and explore new horizons. Now they also want to become a B2B distribution network and sell to B2B customers to provide puzzles to local shops. So to do so, they have created another website, which will be the B2B website. For this one, they want to make sure that the public visitors that come on the website can still see the products. It is the same products that are used on the other websites. So they still see the puzzles, but if they are not connected, if they don't have a contract with the company, they won't be able to see the prices and buy the products. On the other hand, if they have a contract with us, we will create for them an account and we will show them the prices that apply to them. So first, to hide the prices to the public visitors, we will again create another price list, which will be we will first activate a setting to make sure, this is a setting that you have in the website, which is called Prevent Sale of Zero Price Products. If we activate this one, it will say that if a product has a price of €0, the price will be hidden and the Add to Cart button will be hidden as well, meaning they cannot buy it. Once this is activated, we need to use a price list to define the prices to 0. So I will create the B2B hide price list, and again I will make sure to assign it to the right website. And here I will create a single rule that will say that all the products have a fixed price of $0. So now if I switch the order of my website to show you, if a public visitor comes on the B2B website, he will not be able to see any price and add the product to the cart. But now we also have the B2B customers that have an account and have to see the prices. So for them, we will create yet another price list, and in this one we will define their prices. So here's the price list, and in this case I will just make it simple today. I will just define that the prices for the B2B customers is based on the cost that I have defined on the product form, and I will just make sure to have a margin of 20% on that cost. So now, just as with the happy members, we will need to make sure that in the contacts for the B2B customers, once we create an account for them, because we have on the shop restricted the possibility to create an account by themselves, and we have made sure that they have to be connected to checkout. So once we create an account for the B2B customer, we will assign them the B2B prices price list. So now if we connect as this customer, we see that he can see the prices based on my cost that I have defined for them. So the little trick that I would like to give you here is what I personally call the fixed versus dynamic price list. What is it? Well, it is when a customer comes on your website and orders a product, if he is not registered with an account, a contact will be created for them in the backend. On that contact, the first price list in the list that can apply to them will be assigned in the Sales and Purchase tab. What will happen if tomorrow you have to change your price list, change the list, add another price list? If it has to update the prices that applies in priority to them, it will be automatically adapted on the contact form. The trick is, if you have changed manually the price list on your contacts, then it will be fixed, because you will tell Odoo, okay, for this customer I want this specific price list. For this, if you have, I have a little pro tip that I would like to share. It is that we have a little technical field in Odoo that you can add with Studio, which is not meant for that, but you can use it as an indication. And basically with that field, you will be able to see if you have someday changed the prices for that contact, and therefore if it is fixed for him or not. So basically if I go into Studio, existing fields, and I look for price lists, this field is called specific product, property product price list, and I can add it here. And we can see that if I have manually applied a price list to the customer and it is fixed, that this field has been filled in, and if the field is empty, it means that it is dynamic for this customer and that it could change if you change the order or the content of your price list. All right, what are the key takeaways that I would like you to remember? First, that you need to assign your website to your price list for your prices to show on the website. Second is that the order of the price list matter, but so does the country group, and the country group actually has the priority if it matches the country of your customer. Third, if no price rule is set on the price list, it is the product form sales price that will apply. So if you use a price list for all your products, make sure that they are all covered inside the same price list. And the fourth is just a pro tip that I just gave you, which is to use the hidden field, the technical field, to see if customer is on a fixed price list or if he is still dynamic. Thank you and congratulations. You have now unlocked your superpower to be able to manage prices in Odoo effectively. Thank you. Let's see if we have questions. Hi. Je ne sais pas. Hello.
Okay guys, time for the questions. So we have one question. Will the products linked to a price list be listed alphabetically someday or searchable so you can change it more easily?
That's a good question, and that's something that I could ask the product owner about. Right now, the thing is that, as I was telling you, the specific versus general rules, the thing is that the order will also change based on if it is specific or general. So the general rules will go back in the list, like at the bottom of the list. So it means that if we want to order to make an order based on alphabetic order, it changes that logic as well. But this is definitely something we can suggest to the product owner, and that I will do afterwards.
Okay, thanks. Next we have, I see there's a price list tab on products. Does this replace the sales price field on the general info tab?
Can I see it? The general info tab. So maybe it's here, I guess. So I guess it is like, does this replace this field? Well, it does not, because as I was explaining, you could have prices defined on your price list, but if the prices that applies to a customer doesn't cover this product, then it is the sales price that will apply. I hope this answered the question.
Don't hesitate to follow up on the questions in the chat. Also, I see that someone followed up on the first question. We'll go to the list and then maybe come back if we have time. So next question, can you use price list in the sales app, or is it only a website feature?
No, you can also use it in the sales app. So all your price lists will be also available in the sales app. They will also apply based on that customer field, contact field logic. But you can, on the sales order, as you are the one having the hand on it, you can change it before confirming the quotation. That's the difference. On the e-commerce, we want it to be well organized because we don't have the hand on what prices will apply to the customer. We cannot change it before the order.
Okay, next, can we have different price lists for different variants or attributes?
What does that mean?
I guess maybe for each variant or attribute having a different price list, maybe?
I would say no, because as I said, only one price list can apply to one order. So if you need to make sure that you define the price on your price list for all your variants. You cannot have on the same order 2 different prices for 2 different variants, or it would be 2 different orders. I don't know if that answered the question either.
Okay, interesting one. Can setting a price list per customer be automated, or should we do it manually? Sorry.
So if we take the case, for example, of the happy members, with the automation rules, we can definitely make it automatic. I have tried it here, but I'm not sure it works. It still is configured properly. But basically, I created a first rule that was saying that when they buy the subscription product, they get the happy members tag on the contact form, and a second one that says once we see the creation of that happy members tag, we assign that prices to that customer. So it can be automated.
Okay, thanks. Many questions, guys. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time, but let's go with another one. Can you make a price list on the total yearly sales revenue of each customer, which you can recalculate each year?
So it would be kind of having a price that adapts automatically. For now, it is manual. I've had that question from another customer yesterday, and he wanted to calculate the price based on the margin of their sales for their B2B customers. Currently, this is not possible, so you have to define the price on the price list. But you can use import-export for that as well.
Okay. If using price list fully, does the sales price field becomes obsolete? Would it be an idea to hide it to avoid confusion with its stale data?
Yeah, the thing is that we show it because not everyone has cases where they need to define the prices in a price list. So we don't want to overcomplicate it for the customers that just will need to have one price per product, but it's nice to have the 2 options as well. So I think this is not for now, but why not maybe? That could be discussed at the e-commerce booth.
Yeah, we still have time for some questions. Is it possible to configure the same price list for 2 different websites, or do we need to have 2 separate price lists, one for each website? And how to manage the persons who have access to both websites?
So indeed, you will need 1 price list per website, because the website field on the price list is you cannot add more than 1 at a time. And if you leave it empty, it doesn't apply to any website. So currently this is the behavior, so you would need to duplicate it and assign it to the second website. And how to
manage the person who have access to both websites.
So for that, you could either, for example, on one website, make sure that everyone can order having an account or not, having to connect to the account or not at the checkout. And if you need to restrict on the other one, you can make sure to use the setting that prevents the creation of an account. And so that's, and of course, the checkout as well without an account. And then you can yourself create accounts for those customers.
Okay, maybe a last one. Is there an easy way to update the price of all the items in a price list? The export function only gives me the names of the existing price list, not the articles linked to it.
For that, I think I'm not super good at exports, but I know we have templates that we can use for that. So I think import-export is still the easiest way to manage that. But let's come to the booth later on or tomorrow, and we can talk about that. And I will have colleagues that are more experienced in that matter if you want.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.